Hi everyone, my name's Alex. I am 16 years old and I like my dog Purdy. I like my cat Puss. I love my family. I love sport, especially dancing and netball. I love brie, cheese, all kinds of cheese really, but especially brie. Walks on the beach, anything really quite romantic. I'm quite a hopeless romantic really. Flowers, orchids. My boyfriend's called Matt, by the way, Matt Maroney. Sounds like macaroni, I know, but it just sounds like Italian. I'd quite like if he was Italian. Oh well. I love things that are heart-shaped, mostly. I'm really soppy, as you can probably tell. I love nature. I'm a bit of a tree hugger as well. I like myself. I'm quite happy with who I am and everything. Yeah. Oh, cheesy Doritos. Oh, and dip. Yes.
It just doesn't seem real. It doesn't seem real that a girl who played netball knocking on England's door, swam at that level, was just full of life and happiness and joy. It should just, that just didn't make sense. She was doing her GCSEs and she'd kind of not been feeling 100% for, I don't know, a week or two. And in fact, her boyfriend had had suspected glandular fever and Alex went off to bed because she had a German exam the following morning. At about 12 o'clock, she couldn't settle and she didn't feel so well and she just didn't feel right. And I thought she was getting a bit anxious about her German because she hated German. Although she got an A star in it, but she still hated it. And actually, I said to her, just think, Alex, after tomorrow, you'll never have to utter another word of German. And I said, do you want anything? A drink or anything? She said, no, I should be fine. And I left the room, gave her a kiss on her forehead and said, I love you, Alex, and she said, I love you too. And that was the last thing I ever heard her say. So she said, I love you too, Mummy, to me. We tried to resuscitate her and the paramedics came, and what I remember was he just said, stop. And so I said, why? Is it no good? Is it no use? And he said, no. And that's when you realise that she's gone.
At least 12 young people die under the age of 35 unexpectedly from a heart condition they did not know they had every week of the year, which is a preventable and silent killer. Screening has been proven to work. In Italy, screening is mandatory for all young people engaged in sport. Young sudden cardiac death has fallen by 90%. The National Screening Committee has refused to put in place a comprehensive offer of heart screening for our young people here in the UK, and I personally think that is a scandal.
Yes, it might be expensive to screen every single young person, but it's clear to me that some young people are at higher risk, those who play regular competitive sport. And if you started with those young people being screened on a regular basis or being screened so that we can identify any problems, then I think we would build from there. So from my point of view, I think the screening committee has got to continue to look at this, has got to continue to look at international evidence. And in the end, I think they will have to move in this crucial area.
Every week in the UK, at least 12 fit and healthy young people die suddenly from undiagnosed cardiac conditions. Our aim as a charity is to prevent these tragedies, to identify people who are at risk and to treat them. CRY offers a cardiac screening service which is free for young people between the age of 14 and 35. Any person can book on our website, and within 3 clicks they can have booked an appointment to be tested. We tested 23,000 people last year. And the vast majority of young sudden deaths occur with no symptoms whatsoever, over 80%. So it's really important that young people are screened, and there needs to be more awareness of that. 2 of the red flag symptoms are chest pain, exercise-related chest pain, or fainting, particularly if there's a faint when you don't protect yourself and you wake up on the floor with a cut across your forehead or some other physical damage. There are also other symptoms like palpitations, dizziness, which are a bit arbitrary and easily dismissed by a general practitioner. There's a 50% chance other family members may have that same condition.
CRY, Cardiac Risk in the Young, try and do what they can. We try and raise money, but it's a little tiny bit that they can do. It's so serendipitous if you are somebody who knows somebody who's had an event and is screened because your awareness is raised, versus somebody who might not have done. Before Alex passed away, we didn't think of this.
Looks to be in some distress as well, Fabrice Muamba. Physio keen to turn him on his side. The medical staff have come running on from both sides as well. Sorry to have to say that such is Muamba's distress, as our cameras will be keeping a safe distance from it. There's some mystification among some of the players out there as to precisely what led to this.
You know, you've got to make this country heart safe at the end of the day, and CRY have done a brilliant job, but it is now time for the government to act and to legislate, to put in place a proper policy to save lives.
There is a cost. That is a different debate to saying that there is no value to an ECG and that these deaths are too rare to actually warrant investigation. They're one of the most common causes of death in young people, but there is a cost to a screening program. You can't get away from that, and it will have a cost on the NHS.
The NHS, the National Health Service, has many great strengths, but one of its weaknesses is it's too much of a treatment service. So it picks up the pieces when people have fallen ill, rather than acting to prevent them becoming ill in the first place. And I think there is some way to go before the NHS makes that move towards a more preventative health service.
What we want to do as a country, do we want to accept 600 young sudden deaths every year?
If there are simple checks that we know are available that can be used to identify those at greater risk, then surely as a society that's the way we should be going.
It's an argument that, to me, there's no question that screening should occur. It's such a waste of these young people, such a waste.